Hello and welcome to the Body Guy Reviews, where the good movies rise and the bad ones burn. Okay, so this special episode of the Body Guy Reviews should be interesting because of what I am gonna review about. And if you know me personally, you would know about my favorite horror movie, but I ain't gonna spell it out yet. Y'all wouldn't know my favorite horror movie of all time. And since the 10th installment is coming out this month, I thought, hey, why not make it Body Guy Reviews on all 9? And maybe, just maybe, if I can review the 10th one after it comes out or so. Don't ask how. And what horror movie am I talking about? Easy hand. Real quick, let me go get it. Okay, I'm back. That movie being the Saw franchise. Yes, guys, this is actually my favorite horror movie of all time. Over Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th and Halloween and Hellraiser, all that shit. And yeah, I do like the stories and some of the characters and all. And yeah, so yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're reviewing all 9 Saw franchise, not one video, but kind of like how we did with the Batman and Batman franchise. And that's to review all 9 of it, which are Saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, the not final chapter, aka Saw 3D, but we ain't gonna call it Saw 3 nor the final chapter for obvious reasons. We're just gonna call it Saw 7. Jigsaw, which is the 8th Saw movie. And lastly, Spiral from the Book of Saw, which is the 9th Saw film. And we all know that Saw X is coming out September 29th, and that's the reason, and that's half of the reason why I want to try doing this video. So yeah, so let's dig into the first Saw that started off, Saw 1, and show you how did this whole thing came about. So the movie begins with, strangely enough, a blue light swimming around, water. And as you see in the movie, there was a man in there. And soon he wakes up while the blue light ends up going into the drain. And you'll figure out what it was later on, aka the end. But yeah. And we will go to meet our protagonist, his name Adam, played by Adam Winnell. And he tries processing on where is he at, what's going on, and yada. Then someone else was in the room, and the lights turn on and not revealing what not only what he's inside, but also another man in there. And the gentleman being named Dr. Lawrence Gorham, played by Carey Lewis. And they was also confused on, and they was both confused on where they was, but also in the middle of the bathroom there was a dead body in there. On one hand he had a gun, and the other hand on a tape recorder. And if you look at the body, you can probably put two together that the dude shot himself. And both men are also chained up to the pipes. And yeah, and to be honest, I know some of you young Saw fans will probably be like, oh, the first one is probably just about 2 gentlemen in a bathtub. Which you ain't wrong, because that's basically what 50% of this movie is. or even 60%. Anyway, they try to figure out. They looked all over the bathroom to figure out why they're there and such, and heck, even Lawrence looked over at the camera, or looked over and saw a clock, since it looks new and not complete shit, because that's what basically the bathroom is. Just nothing but shit. More shittier than a person's shit. But yeah. Then I realized that there was a little envelope in his pocket which has a little tape. Lawrence looking at his envelope, not only with just the same small tape as Adam has, but with a bullet and a key. And like any escape rooms geniuses, they would know that it ain't gonna work, because that would be way too easy to do. So Adam used the stuff that he has to grab the tape recorder, and he plays it, which has Jigsaw voice, and yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's basically what the killer's name, the Jigsaw Killer. And I'll probably explain to y'all why they call him the Jigsaw Killer in a little bit, but first, they listened and heard about what the tape was saying about how Adam was like the voyeur and he has a chance to act instead of watch. But telling about it sounds weird, because it's kind of like how Lin-Manuel is, about how he watches and writes down what could be best for a movie he makes, and in Saw he has like a chance to act instead of watch it go down and such. I don't know why it made me thought of that since I've heard it a bunch of times. But yeah, so then Henry Lawrence Gordon plays his part of the tape, and it gave us some rules and clues, and the rule is simple, that he has to kill Adam, and he has till 6 o'clock. I don't know about AM, PM, but tell him by the set, I'm thinking PM or something. It depends on what season it was on or whatever. Hey, yeah. Then Jigsaw also talked about how the man in the room shot himself because he has poison in his blood for some reason, and the X marks the spot for the treasure, and if he doesn't kill by 6, then his wife Allison and his daughter Diana will die, and they'll be left in the bathroom to rot. And he says one of his catchphrases being "Let the game begin," but then he slowly overhears something near the end. So, also, yeah, I have my fan on, so if you're hearing the noise, I'm sorry, but I haven't had it on unless I want to sweat. And I also have water. And he listened, you can hear John quietly saying, "Follow your heart." And they try to figure out what does he mean by "follow your heart." So then and then Adam sees that there was a heart shape on the toilet. He looks in the toilet bowl, which was freaking disgusting, by the way. Nothing. He looks in the toilet lid, and there was a bag there that shows those 2 hacksaws and something inside, but we'll get to that later, because I just basically threw it in the tub. later. So Adam Gordon tries and tries and tries and tries to cut the chain with the saw. However, Adam tried so hard that his broke eventually, and he aggressively threw it at a mirror, which one piece fell out, but that's not the point. And Gordon still tries to do it longer but fails, and then he slowly realized that it wasn't meant to cut the chains. They was meant to let their feet off to do it. And he started to recognize about who this person could be. And thus begins a bunch of flashback, by the way, which has Detective Tapp, Detective Steen, and Detective Carey going to another mysterious trap called the Razor Wire Trap, which is a trap about how Paul, who is dead in that maze, by the Razor Wire Maze trap is what I meant, keeps randomly cutting himself for absolutely no reason. I don't know if it's for suicide or something. So instead of the Jigsaw killer asking him what's wrong, he decided to put him in a trap and give him 2 hours to find the path to the door. And if he doesn't make it out, then the door will be locked shut. So, and then they found another trap somewhere where it's called the Flammable Jelly Trap. Why is it called that? It's because basically the gentleman in the room, I forgot his name. Yeah, I'm using the videos again just because I need to try to remind myself so I ain't effing up on videos. But yeah. Oh, and by the way, one last thing, the reason why they call him Jigsaw Killer is because the Jigsaw always leave out a piece of a skin of a form of a puzzle piece. I ain't gonna tell you the reason on it because it'll make a little more sense once we get to the review on Saw 2. Okay, so this next trap, the Flammable Jelly, the reason why it's the next trap, the Flammable Jelly, is because Mark, the guy who was in the trap, faked his own sickness. That's for some reason. So for some dumb reason, Jigsaw put him in a trap, and all he has to do is find the combination to save that has an antidote, and it's written on the walls. But there is two problems. One, the floor is covered in broken glass, so that makes it painful for anyone. And two, he's smearing flammable jelly so the candle that he has might kill him. Which basically does at the end gives away the fuck now. However, during while Tapp, Sting, and Carey are looking at the trap, they see an eye hole peeking. And Carey basically thinks that Jigsaw would probably want to on front row seat to some Sicko games. And they also found a pen light in the razor wire trap. And then it cuts to another scene in the flashback where Dr. Gordon was teaching Gene some new doctors in the hospital about the patient with an improper neural tumor or whatever that's called. Sorry, I'm not a true doctor, but yeah. But then this gentleman named Zeb comes in to reveal that his name is John. And yes, I said John. And says that he's a very interesting person for some odd reason, but yeah. Then he got called in his office and Tapp and Sting was there, and they ask him about if he knew what he was doing on the night of those two traps, but luckily he found he had an alibi that they don't say, but it'll come later, and that he's clean and didn't die in any traps. However, for the first time ever in this movie, they had Survivor in it. And yes, there is a Jigsaw survivor. And this girl, Amanda, who you might want to remember going on in case you've never seen the Saw franchise, because she got lots and lots and lots of important roles here and there within these franchise. Well, except for Jigsaw and Spiral, but yeah. Anyways, so Amanda talks about what happened with her trap. And then comes in the most infamous trap in all of the Saw franchise. That being the reverse bear trap. Which is about how Amanda is locked into her room and all she tastes was blood and metal because of the trap being hooked from her upper and lower jaw. And once the timer runs out, it'll rip open. And also, the way on how Jigsaw tells him her the rules is that we get this little fella named Billy the Puppet, which he became the icon for the Jigsaw killer. And he says that there is only one key to open the device, and that is in the stomach of his dead cellmate. And when Amanda got free and such, she sees a dead body, which is supposed to be his quote-unquote dead cellmate, which his name is Donnie. However, for some reason, he wasn't dead. He was still alive, but Amanda killed him because she needs that key, and she broke free, and Jigsaw gave her gratitude for some other reason, but yeah, but anyways, then it goes right back to the bathroom after all that hullabaloo. And Hannah wasn't believing her Warren's story, and grabbed the broken mirror glass. However, he realized that it was too late. So with a bunch of pebbles and rocks that was in the crappy ass bathroom, he opens it to reveal that there's a camera on the other end of the two-way mirror, and it shows that someone's watching them with a monitor and all he says is that I can see you, like creepy ass dude. But yeah, so the boys talk to each other more, and Warren's talk about how they'll talk about his family, and also we'll just randomly decide to show Adam some photos of his wife and daughter. However, Adam found a picture of his wife and daughter tied up, which I'll get to in a second. But he gives the wallet back to him and not showing him the photo because I know he'll be pretty pissed once he finds that photo. Yeah. The reason why they're tied is because earlier in the flashback when Lauren was talking about, quote, the last thing he says to her, which I kind of didn't see because I didn't like this, Because, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is the part where we get to the only scene I absolutely hate about this movie. And that is to the kidnapping of Alice and Diana, where some mysterious person, had them kidnapped and held hostage. And yeah. However, he looks out through the window and apparently someone else was watching him, that being Detective Tab. And he was in a little apartment and talking about how he should never let him go. Cut to the flashback, and they first showed some quick newspapers and such of all the traps that have been so far in the movie, aside from the bathroom one. Then transition to a flashback, like the last time when Gordon and Tab talked to each other. And then later, and after so, it went to tap in the police department and trying to look at the minors of Man Safe. And Sting knew that he was getting a little bit too obsessed. And yeah. However, before Sting leaves, Tab found some more clues about how the background had a Y2K or K2K or whatever it was. Yeah. Then they heard a noise which sounds impossible to hear because for like most people. Yeah. Which is that there was an alarm going off in the background, so they used that and the game symbol to find the location for John's lair, or Jigsaw's lair. Sorry, god damn it. Yeah, for you Jigsaw fans, you probably know what I'm talking about, but shut up. Stop, sorry. Oh my god, I hate misspelling right and wrong stuff. But yeah. So they went to the warehouse and found everything from Billy. It was from Billy the Puppet to some crafty stuff of the bathroom set. And then they randomly found a mysterious man in a chair tied up in a hole named Jeff. No relations to another main character that's going to be in Solid 3, but more on that guy later. So this Jeff was needing help, but then they heard the elevator come up. And on one hand, Sting wants to get him, but Tab wants to hide so they can show more proof that the man in the robe that comes from the elevator here will be enough proof to show that that mysterious person is Jigsaw. Then after a few seconds they came out, they pointed guns at him, but Jigsaw, god damn it! Turns on the trap, which is a chair drill trap, which is probably the just most underrated one because absolutely no one talks about that trap. And no, I have no clue why he was in a trap, but oh well. In 20 seconds, and Tab Sting has decided to choose to put put Jigsaw in jail, or to save another man's life. Sting tries saving Jeff's life, but Tab was keep pointing the shotgun right at him, while Jigsaw was talking about how he's sick from a disease and how he's sick of people, not appreciating their life and scoffing at the living. That's jazz. Then he pulled out a secret blade, which he cuts slowly Tab's throat, but not kill him. And Sting and Detective Sting, he runs to go after him, and he did shoot him. And however, what he didn't know is that this was a little too easy. So he gets closer and closer and closer, but then when he moves some cobwebs out of the way, he trips a wire, which was tied up to a bunch of shotguns on top. And once the wire was pulled from Sting's leg, the gun shoot and blew his head. And then and the Jigsaw Killer gets up, leaves. Tab comes down the stairs to see his dead partner. Yeah, and he has stitched throat, hence the reason why he is still living. And yeah, if you couldn't tell, he basically and yeah, he's watching the mysterious person, and the mysterious person watching at him, Gordon. And I forgot to mention earlier about the photo that Adam was holding. Ursula also said that X marks the spot, but also adding that you might be able to see more with your eyes closed. Reason why? Because when Adam asked Orange to turn off the lights, they found the X on the wall, which is basically glow-in-the-dark paint. And yes, that exists. I don't know how, but I think that's fucking cool. So Orange busts a hole in the wall and then found the box, which was locked. However, the key from earlier they had was able to open the box, and inside the box was a cell phone, a paper, and 2 cigarettes for some reason. I don't know why. Okay. And then and the note, Lawrence found a small note that was addressed for him. That says, "The cigarettes are harmless, I promise. Smoking is only poisonous when it ends in bloodshed. Think about this. You don't need a gun to kill Adam." We'll get back to that in a little bit. But Gordon tries the phone, but there's no reception because it only gets calls, not take calls or anything like that. Then Lawrence finally finds out how he got there, where he was leaving somewhere and was in those bunch of floors parking lot, whatever it was, the parking lot towers, and tries calling someone. However, he couldn't get. But meanwhile, in the back of his car, there was a person in a pig mask crawling on out of the car to go kidnap Gordon, and he ends up in the bathroom. But Gordon asks how did he knew to turn on the lights, and Al was at first hesitated, but he decided to just show him the photo, and Gordon took it well. Took it fucking well. Then he had an idea about the small note earlier and dipped 1 cigarette in the pool of blood and turn off the lights and tell Adam something that neither the killer nor the audience could hear, and not even y'all can hear it. Then they obviously stage a little play after they turn on the lights, and that's that Gordon will give him a harmless cigarette, not the poisonous one, the harmless, and he'll pretend that he's getting killed by the poison. And good fucking lord, he sucks at dying. I acting like he's dying and such like that. However, this Jigsaw Killer wasn't playing around, because next thing you know, Al got electrocuted from his chain, which somehow makes him remember how he got there, and then there's another flashback with him going back to his apartment and putting up photos with Dr. Lawrence Gordon. More on that one later. But then he wakes up in a dark, up with the lights out on in his hotel room or apartment, and he tried looking around, and even using his camera flashes as the light bulb. And then he hears a mysterious laugh That being coming from Bill the Puppet, which is also in my comic project. So yeah, then he looks around a little more and try to fly using the flashes on his camera some more until getting kidnapped by the pig mask, like how Gordon got kidnapped by it. And then Warren's get a call and Diane was telling about how the Batman's in her room and he's telling him his mom hostage. Then Allison said to not trust Adam because he knew who he was. So obviously Mr. Gordon got sussed out. And then Adam reveals that he actually knew Gordon because he was spying on him, revealing that the wife, that quick flash he was seen in his flashback was that was taking a photo of him. And he grabs a black bag from the beginning and shows that it has a bunch of photos of him, of Dr. Gordon that he took just to spy on Gordon. However, it also revealed that Gordon was going to an apartment and fuck a secretary of his from earlier in the hospital. However, due to her starting off his pager earlier in the flashback with his family, he was having second thoughts and decided to leave. However, they get a call, and who knows what it was, but when Gordon listens to the phone, all the person said was that "I know what you're doing, Doctor," and hangs up. And yeah, you know the rest. He goes to the parking lot towers and gets kidnapped by Pigman. Yeah. And yeah. And Gordon asks, who is paying you to do this? Then it was revealed that it was Detective Tapp, because again, he's crazy. And yeah, Gordon argues with Adam a little bit, but they chill out. But I realized that there was one photo that he did not took, and gave it to Warren to see. And that picture revealed that it was Zep that is in the house and has his wife and daughter hostage. And yes, he is furious. However, it's 6 o'clock, so they're screwed. However, Allison actually was able to get herself untied. And yeah, so if I'm mixing up my names with these characters, and sorry, was able to untie herself. And Zep told him that they was about to die, but once Zep called Gordon to make Allison to tell Gordon that he fails, and after we know that he failed, attacks that have been get into a scuffling in battle, and also shooting a few bullets. Sorry, the khaki pants in my uniform are falling off. Yeah, and when Tapp found out that there was gunshots happening, he runs to the house to go stop the killer. Oh my god, yeah, I'm trying to speak and Knocks Tap out and tells Alice and Diana that they were going to kill Lawrence. So he hobbles away, and Tap was following him. And for some reason, they had I'm not joking, but they legit had the lamest car chase I have ever seen in my fucking life. Seriously, I know many movies out there that has better car chase scenes than whatever Saw made. Meanwhile, in the bathroom, Gordon knew what was going on and was crying, thinking that his wife and daughter got killed. But then his chain electrocuted him and then made him pass out for a little bit. But after having to throw some small pebbles at him, and he wakes up and realizes that it electrocuted him and gets pissed. But then the phone rang. He tried answering, but he can't reach for some reason, even though he could have used his journal. And ended up in a mental breakdown and decided to do what he has to do, and that's to saw his foot off. Then he crawls over to the gun that the dead body has, poked the bullet in there, and he shoots at him and begs to let his family go. But meanwhile, during the quote-unquote car chase, if you want to call it, they was running all the way to the bathroom, but at one point they got into a scuffling, and Zeb was able to shoot Tap in the torso. And for some of us, we thought, okay, then he's dead. But if you really wanted to shatter the whole timeline of this franchise, you would know that he's actually alive in Saw the video game, which I do have Saw 1 and Saw 2 of the video games. Good games, but my god, they're fucking hard! But let me know if you want me to do a review on those games as well, since I don't think I have since I know I haven't made a video game review about it. But yeah. Anyways, so when Zeb got in there and seen that Adam was possibly dead, it was too late because that's the rules. But then Adam came back to life out of nowhere, where to attack Zeb and then kill him with a toilet lid. And Gordon stops him, and because he's already dead, and tells him that he's gonna go get help and he'll bring someone back and promises. But if you've seen the whole franchise, you would know he was dying. Gonna spoil on that. But yeah, so he crawls away and then we get to near the end. Yes, we're nearly at the end, even though I'm babbling a bit. But yeah. And Adam tries looking for the key that might be in Zeb's pockets. But what he found was another tape recorder revealing that Zeb was also part of the game. Yep. And also you can slowly hear the theme song coming up with titled Hell Zeb, if you're curious. And that mind was blown because he realized that what Zeb game was is that would he be willing to murder a mother and her child to save himself to get the antidote that is coursing through, or the poison that is coursing through his vein system. If you thought that was crazy, guess what? It's not over yet. Because the next thing you know, the dead body in the middle of the bathroom was actually alive! Yep. Also, yeah, you might hear a lot of that just because I like doing it because of how crazy it may sound. But yeah. And the gentleman in there was none other than John Kramer, the real Jigsaw killer who was behind everything you saw in the first movie. and he told them that the key to his chain was in the bathtub. However, if you remember, the key, that blue light, was actually the key, and it fell down the drain. So there's no chance he's gonna get it. So he tried grabbing the gun and shooting John, but he uses a button to electrocute him again, which I'm kind of wondering how did he even use it without without pressing. And then he walks over to the door, turns on the light, and says the best ending to a horror movie. He says, "Game over," as Adam screams and closes the door, and you hear Adam just screaming. Yeah. The movie is great. It is a good movie, a awesome soap opera story and such, and I cannot wait to review the rest of the franchise. So stay tuned for tomorrow, where I'll review Saw 2. And thank you for watching this Saw review. Here is my social medias if you want to go on and follow me and such like that. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys.